Hi you guys. Today I'm gonna do a video request for henolovee. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's HENOLOVEE. There's two E's. And basically she commented on my Let's Get Personal video and she asked me if I could do a video about how I met my boyfriend and any tips that I can give about making a relationship last long. And I told her that I would do this video, so before I go to work I decided that today will be that day. Okay, no, but let me get started with just the basics. How I met my boyfriend. I think he was 16 and I was like 14, and believe it or not, we started talking first through the internet, and then we talked for like maybe a week, and then we decided like, oh, let's meet up at the movies. And then we were in the movies and stuff, and I'll admit I did kiss him that night, the first night, whatever, call me a slut. And that's how we met, was through the internet. And I know like nowadays that's so casual that it happens all the time, but like back then it was a little bit like people would tell you like all the time, like just be careful what you do, or be careful who you meet and stuff like that. So then after that we just started like meeting up, like teenagers do, like at the mall or stuff like that. And then I ended up meeting his family, I think like 2 months after we started dating and stuff like that. And they were just the nicest people, and I'm actually really, really, really close with his family now. And his mom and his grandma are like my mom and my grandma, and I love them to death. So then one night we were sitting on the stairs, and then we had kissed, and then it was the weirdest thing ever, and it was kind of like a movie. But like that same night, when I got home, I called him and we were talking, and then he told me he's like, oh, I have something. No, I think it was me first. I'm not pretty sure, but I was like, I have something to tell you. And he's like, I have something to tell you too. And then that was the very first time that we both said I love you to each other. So I felt like it was really meant to be, and it still is. And that's how everything came about. And then from there, we just kept dating, and now it is what it is now. I would say that I really didn't think that it would last that long, just because I was so young. And I really thought that like maybe this was just like, another like, oh, I really like you, and then next week it's like, who are you again? That's what I thought it was going to be. But it actually ended up being way more than that, and I'm really glad, and I thank the Lord every day that I met his cute little face. Number one key, and everyone knows this, is trust. You have got to trust people in your relationship. It has to be mutual though, like on both sides, because if not, first thing you hear is, so where are you going? I'm going out with my friends. Oh, why are you going out with your friends? Oh, are you gonna go cheat on me? Oh, are you gonna go do this and this? And you don't want to hear that every time you want to go out with your friends and just have fun, and it's seriously, like nothing like that. That gets pretty annoying. I mean, and you definitely just want to be able to have your space. Number 2 rule. You have to have space. Like, I don't care what anyone says, and I see a lot of people do this, and this is why their relationships do not last long. Because they're always around each other. They're always like, oh, I can't wait to be around my boyfriend. Or, oh, I can't go out with you guys tonight because I'm going with my boyfriend. Like, okay, you're going to look stupid because I can already predict how your relationship's going to work out. You're with each other too much, and it gets annoying. I mean, like, no one wants to be with someone every day. The very first year, or year and a half, it was kind of hard because we both didn't drive. We were both really still young, so we had to, find rides to get all the way across town, or like I'd have to go all the way across town to go see him. So we would only really see each other like on Saturdays, so like once a week, or maybe like twice a week, like Friday and Sunday or something like that. But it was usually always weekends for the first year and a half. And like when you're away from someone, it makes you really appreciate them more and really miss them more, so that when you guys do see each other, you guys have more to talk about. It's not boring. Another thing is, I mean, this is really touchy for me, at least. I know a lot of girls do this, but do not just have sex on the first date, and do not just have sex every day either, because that, even without communication, that if you just do that all the time, they're not going to want you. They're not going to ever take you seriously, and they're not ever going to make you their girlfriend, because the thing is, they're probably talking to somebody else on the side too, just to be so honest with you. If that's the first thing that you guys got into without really having to get to know each other or anything like that, then that's not a good look. They're never going to take you seriously. Nowadays, it's kind of gross because sex is so common to people, like it's nothing, and I think that is not cute, and that's definitely not a way to make a relationship last at all. If you guys hardly know each other and you're just going at it every day, it's not going to work out. Another advice that I would have to give is communication is key. That is definitely true. If you guys do not have communication, there really is nothing there. I mean, that's a huge lack, and that's something that you definitely need in a relationship. You guys need to be able to tell each other stuff, and be able to speak to each other. Just be open about a lot of stuff. Another thing I would have to say is, it really depends on the person. I mean, money is a big thing in relationships nowadays. So us girls, we just like to, be spoiled and taken care of and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when it starts to get further into a relationship and you start to go on years, then you do want to establish something for yourself, and be able to give back to him. So like I said, everything is mutual in a relationship. That is the number one thing that you guys have to remember, is for everything just to be the same, to be balanced out and stuff like that. You don't want to, I see a lot of people who argue all the time. And I mean, I would say about maybe last year, I was really going tough through that. Me and him were really going tough through that arguing phase, and it's like you never want to do anything together anymore because you're just really annoyed with each other, kind of like marriage. And then I did some, prayers, and I tried to work on myself to be a better person and just to ignore it if he was the one to start it, because it doesn't get anywhere if you're just both arguing. It's kind of stupid. So I worked on myself, and then it's kind of like, you don't want to argue with yourself. So when you are that person to just drop it and leave it alone, and they keep going about it, it'll only take them a week, or if they're really hard-headed, a month, to really see that, okay, it's me, let me change now. So then that's their time to, reevaluate themselves. So I think that we went through that, and now I can honestly say that this year has been the best for both of us, and I am really enjoying my relationship and everything that we hold together, and I really love living together with him, and we just have a lot more fun and stuff too. And that's what you need. You want to make sure that you always do fun stuff, adventurous stuff, oh, let's just go on a road trip to California, or oh, let's go skydiving indoors. Not outdoors, I'm too scared. And okay, well, let's just get up and go to the movies and go to brunch and stuff like that. We do stuff like that all the time. So you don't want to just be at home all snugged up with someone every single day, because that definitely is another thing that will make you break up fast. Because like I said, space, you don't want to be hugged up under someone all day. And I mean, either go out by yourself for an errand, for a couple days of, every other day. You should just have some you time, and he should too. And that's one thing that we definitely do. I'll go run my errands and then go to work, and then you know, when I come home at night, we'll talk, and then he'll go to sleep, and then the next day we'll spend the whole day together. You know, it's stuff like that. Like, you need to balance it out. You can't be under someone all the time. And I mean, and then when you guys do have your days together, you know, go do something fun. Don't just lay around the house, unless it's like a lazy Sunday or something like that. Then that's different. You know, rent movies or something like that. But you know, make sure that you keep things fun, and that your communication is there, that you guys are both loyal to each other, that you don't have to go and sneak around in his phone when he's sleeping, because trust me, I used to want to do stuff like that. But I can honestly say he leaves his phone out every single night. He doesn't have a lock on it or anything like that, and he doesn't really talk to anyone. He doesn't go out. I trust him a lot, and same goes for me. I could leave my phone out and it's unlocked, and I could care less if he checked it or not. And that's how things should be. You know, you shouldn't have to ask questions all the time, like, you know, where you been and stuff like that, because obviously if you have to ask questions like that, there's some problems, and maybe you need to like really get down to it. And if you find out that someone is unfaithful to you or has been lying to you about little stuff, you should probably leave them. Don't try to make it work unless like you really feel like at the bottom of your heart like this person is not that person, and like they must be going through something for them to act like that. And you know, if you've always like loved them and trust them, and then one day something just happens and they lied to you about something, then I mean, you know, get over it. Unless it's serious, like they had sex with somebody else or something like that, then yeah, I had to tell them hit the road, because it's really not worth it. It's not worth the stress, and guys will keep doing it. I don't care what any of them say, it's true, and they will keep doing it. Don't tell me different, because that's just how I think about it. And that's my opinion on that. Loyalty, giving each other space, don't have sex too soon, and get to know each other, and communication. It's really, really, really vital that those are some of the top things about a relationship that really needs to be done, because if so, then the relationship can grow stronger and it will definitely last longer. Be independent, to where you can fall back on yourself, and that's what a lot of girls don't understand, but that's what we all need to start doing, and all of us need to really start working on that. So then guys really know, like, you know, well damn, she, at the end of the day, she really doesn't need me. You know, because if you just like depend on a man all the time, and you're really always asking him for everything, and he knows that, he's going to do you wrong, because he knows that you're not going to go anywhere because you need that. But if you have your own, he's going to be like, well, you know, she doesn't need me, so she can leave whenever. So it'll make him think more, it'll make him think twice about what he's doing before he even lies to you or does something wrong. So that's another thing. And last but definitely not least is confidence. That is one thing that I have a lot of. My boyfriend knows that, and I'm pretty sure he sees that. And I think that sometimes when we get in fights, that's one reason why he knows not to do something stupid or anything like that. Because when you get with a girl and you see that she lacks confidence, and she's really not confident about herself, and she's always complaining, God forbid you guys ever got in a fight, but he would use that against you and really hurt you, and that's not something that should be done, but it happens. So, you know, never let someone see, even if you are, don't let them ever know, you know, and let them know that you are confident, because at the end of the day, he's going to look at you like, well, you know, she's confident, and I know that if I mess up, she will go get someone else, because she not only is she pretty and beautiful inside and out, but she knows it. So she knows that she'll respect herself more, because she knows what she's worth and what she is. So it'll help them to also respect you more. And I'm not just saying that, I mean it, because I know from experience. And I would say that those are really just the top things that everyone should have to make a relationship last longer. Okay, you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.